What if the headline you dreaded for 5 years is already type-sitting in a draft folder in El Segundo, while the training facility hums like nothing's wrong? What if the next era of Lakers basketball isn't waiting for July, but standing outside the door right now, knocking with a rumor that could split the fan base in two? Imagine this. The practice court is empty, the banners are still, and an unread badge blinks on a phone that matters. The subject line reads, Contingency 23. If your stomach just dropped, good. That's the feeling of a franchise staring at a cliff, not because it wants to jump, but because it refuses to be pushed. The question isn't, could the Lakers entertain LeBron trade chatter? The question is whether the chatter itself changes how this season is played, coached, and remembered starting tonight. Here's what I'm going to give you without spoiling the central reveal. I'm going to map the rumor ecosystem. What's real? What's noise? What has receipts? I'll break down the financial architecture that would need to exist for a midseason mega deal versus a controlled walk into free agency. I'll show you how the on-court identity shifts depending on whether you treat this as a distraction to smother, a spark to leverage, or a serious fork in the road. We're talking timelines, protections, locker room psychology, and legacy math. I'll draw the playbook, paint the risks, and outline the scenarios. But I'm not giving you the headline yet. You're going to earn it by staying locked in, because every breadcrumb matters and the punchline hits harder when you understand the setup. Quick timeout. This is Lakers News Fan Report. If you want the story told with urgency and receipts instead of fluff, subscribe now, hit the bell so you don't miss the next drop, and tap like so more Lakers lifers find this community. No tourists in June. Let's set the proper stage before we even whisper names and dates. Your Los Angeles Lakers are walking a razor's edge between two truths that don't shake hands easily. Truth one, you are in a win-now window with Anthony Davis in his prime and Lebron James defying time like it owes him money. That demands aggression, clean rotations, and playoff-proof lineups yesterday. Truth two, you are also stewards of the jersey into the 2030s draft control, cap flexibility, and the ability to add the right star if when the board gives you a door. That demands discipline and a willingness to say no even when your notifications scream yes. Balancing those truths is not a meme. It's the entire job. Context, not panic. LeBron is entering his 23rd NBA season. No one's done that before. He opted into a massive one-year number to run it back in Los Angeles. That move did two things quietly. It gave the Lakers certainty for this season, and it placed an unblinking clock on the wall for the next one. An opt-in on a short horizon is leverage both ways. It allows LeBron to reassess in July with the cleanest runway he's had in years. And it forces the Lakers to prove not promise that their path to Banner 18 is paved, lit, and plowed. Okay, deep breath. Here's the headline you came for. Clean and simple. The latest lead chatter says it is unlikely LeBron will request a trade during the 2025-26 season, emphasis on during. But, and this is the part people are whispering about, there is concurrent buzz that he's prepared to treat the summer like a true fork in the road, with unrestricted free agency very much on the table for the first time since his last Cleveland exit. Translation for Lakers Nation. The rumor of a midseason trade demand is smoke without flame right now. The rumor of a summer reevaluation is absolutely real enough to shape how this whole season is managed. Let's label this properly. Fact versus speculation. Facts: LeBron's on a one-year giant number deal. He's entering season 23 with records in reach games played, field goals, three-point milestones, and he's still good enough to change a playoff series with his brain, if not with his 40-inch vertical. Facts: the Lakers did not lock in an extension prior to this season. Facts: the front office constructed a roster with multiple mid-tier contracts and a controlled pick schedule moves that help you compete and give you optionality at the deadline. Speculation: that LeBron would go to management and ask out in February. The responsible read right now? Unlikely. The responsible read on July? Open, with variables. So how does that shape the basketball? If you treat the rumor as a circus, it becomes one. If you treat it as a constraint, it becomes a focus tool. The Lakers have two jobs, one in public, one in private. In public, you starve the rumor of oxygen-clear messaging, consistent rotations, no performative panic. In private, you run a full decision tree through March. If we are tracking for home court, all chips go to chemistry and one surgical addition. If we hover in the mushy middle, you still push in less the cost to push Nuke's July flexibility, and you're buying a first-round loss dressed as momentum. This is a chessboard, not a slot machine. Let's go to the chalkboard for 5 minutes, because this is Lakers News Fan Report, not Lakers News fan feelings. What does this team look like when it hums? Pace throttle offense, surgical half-court execution with a D as the hub, shooters who understand geometry, and two-way wings who turn gains into 48-minute math problems for the other side. The Lebron version that wins in 2026 is not the 17 drives a night version. It's the set the table, pick the mismatch, punish backline stumbles, then close with force version. If the rumor smoke hangs, your antidote is habits. Habits are immune to hashtags. A quick detour into legacy math, because the milestones will be daily plot points. Season 23 is uncharted. LeBron is positioned to pass career field goals made, climb the all-time threes list, and chase the crown for most regular season games. That's not trivia. That's a weekly media drumbeat, and the Lakers need to master the art of honoring the chase without letting it drive the bus. The balance? Celebrate moments, schedule rest like an adult, and never ever let a record chase cost you a 2-game skid in February. Now. The rumor mechanics, how these things grow legs. There are 3 engines: team performance, player agency, and market appetite. Team performance is obvious. Long losing streaks weaponize whispers. Big wins starve them. Player agency matters more here than with 99% of the league. LeBron doesn't need to hold a press conference to move the needle. A cryptic caption can do damage or good. And market appetite? If 5 contenders see themselves one playmaker away in June, July becomes a feeding frenzy. That's why the Lakers' best defense isn't an Instagram filter. It's a top 8 net rating by Christmas. Let's talk scenarios, because the difference between panic and a plan is the ability to name what comes next. Scenario A, Lakers cruise. Hell holds, spacing stabilizes. The bench finds a reliable 8 and a trusty 9th, and the team camps in the West top 4. In that world, the mid-season rumor becomes background noise. You add a 3-and-D adult at the deadline. You protect picks, and you go hunting in May with confidence. The summer is then a negotiated reunion, not a divorce court. Scenario B, Lakers are good, not great. They bounce between seeds 4 to 7. Health is streaky, and the half-court offense still bogs when the shooters blink. This is the stress test. In February, you either pay for certainty over pay, but smartly, or you hold your water and bank on continuity while keeping July oxygen in the room. It's the hardest call of all, because both roads feel wrong for different reasons. This is also where the rumor machine gets loudest. Scenario C, it goes sideways. Health dings stack, the defense hemorrhages corner threes, and the margins fray. This is where whispers evolve not necessarily into LeBron asks out, but into organizational reset conversations. If C happens, the Lakers must choose clarity over spin. Either you retool immediately for a better March-April, or you protect assets and prepare for a brutally honest July. Half measures are how you turn one bad season into 3. Zoom back to the human layer, because that's the one fans forget until it's June. LeBron's priorities, in order, have always been compete for rings, control his destiny, and build legacy beyond the court. The Lakers' priorities have always been hang banners, build functional depth, and protect the brand. Those priorities are aligned more often than outsiders admit. Conflict happens on the edges, minutes, roles. Who takes the last shot in a tie game in March? Leadership smooths those edges. Health magnifies them. The coaching staff's job is to keep edges smooth. The front office's job is to keep the floor high. The stars' job is to keep the ceiling reachable. Let's address the elephant wearing court purple. Would the Lakers even pick up the phone on incoming trade proposals if the season stalls? Yes, because doing your job doesn't equal disloyalty. Listening is not leaking, but listening is also not leading. Leading is walking into the practice facility and telling the room exactly what matters. Win today's 50-50s. Talk on defense. Make the extra pass. And the noise dies. It's corny until you realize those four things swing playoff series every single year. Now, contract architecture, because the CBA doesn't care about your feelings. Mid-season superstar trades require salary-matching gymnastics, asset piles, and often a third team eating money for a premium. Even if LeBron wanted out, again, unlikely in season, building a deal that preserves Lakers' dignity and yields true value is a riddle wrapped in math. The cleaner pathway, if any separation were to occur, has always been July. That's when buy-in, buy-out, sign-in, sign-out options proliferate. That's when sign-in trade frameworks with full bird math and base year rules can actually be navigated without destroying both roster seasons. That's not romantic. It's real. Back to the court, because ball is the point. What do the Lakers need to do right now to make this rumor irrelevant by Valentine's Day? 3 tangible things cement the AD-first identity. Every possession that starts through 3 at the elbow or 5 in the slot bends the defense. LeBron then becomes the scalpel, not the sledgehammer. That sustainable dot set the shooter's standard. It's not about taking 53s. It's about earning 35 good ones and hitting 38% of the corner looks that great players generate. Role players feast on clarity. Build the bench as a living thing. One connector guard who protects the ball and one rangy wing who plays on a string. Turn your stars from saviors into closers. That changes your season. There's one more piece to Milestone's narrative. It will be tempting nightly to chase commemorations. Don't let it become a compass. The Lakers at their best have celebrated history because they won, not instead of winning. If LeBron breaks another record on a Tuesday, let it be in a 112-101 game with 22 AD shot attempts, 10 free throws from role players, and a fourth quarter where you gave up 18 points. That's how you tell the story properly. Let me plant a flag, clearly labeled opinion. If you're asking me whether the Lakers should entertain any midseason scenario that ends with LeBron in another jersey, barring a catastrophic, no-doubt meltdown, no. Stability is a weapon. The value of LeBron on your team, even at 40, is not just numbers. It's gravity, order, and a basketball brain that saves possessions in May. You don't swap that for a package of futures in February unless you've already shut down a season and this roster isn't built to quit. Where I'm open-minded is July. If and only if 2 conditions hit. 1, the Lakers underperform in a way that screams structural issue. And 2, both sides agree that a clean, respectful, strategic reset serves the next 3 Junes better than a stubborn runback. That's not tabloid. That's stewardship. Before we land the plane, I want to hear from you, all of you. Be specific. If the Lakers are sitting 5th in the West in February with a +2 net rating, do you want the front office to push picks to fortify, or do you want them to hold the line for July? If July gets loud, would you support a 1+1 to keep the window open, or a sign-and-trade that prioritizes AD's prime? What does your line in the sand look like on legacy versus flexibility? Drop your takes below. This channel is built on blue and gold honesty, not fair weather noise. My last word, and I'm choosing it carefully. Rumors are oxygen thieves. They're loud, they're seductive, and they don't win you a single defensive rebound. The Lakers don't need a press release to kill this one. They need a month of adult basketball-heavy AD usage, smart LeBron pacing, crisp shooting discipline, top 8 defense, and fourth quarters where everyone knows the coverage without looking at the bench. Do that, and the story of LeBron's 23rd season writes itself records, wins, and the right kind of choice in July. The kind you make from a position of power, not panic. Banner 18 isn't allergic to rumors. It's immune to them when the work is done. Let's see the work.